Well, thanks for stopping by. This is Outdoors in Maryland, and I'm Sam. And it is finally crabbing season. And we're gonna talk about... What are you doing, man? I'm trying to make a video. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. What's your video about? I'm trying to show people what they need to actually go crabbing. Awesome. So is mine. Can I help? Sure, man. That'd be awesome. Who's your video for? I'm Sam, and I'm with Chesapeake Outdoor Sports. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Why don't you go first? Hell yeah, I'll go first. Awesome. Let's go. So, what we have here are collapsible traps. As a recreational crabber, you're allowed up to 30 collapsible traps. The first time I ever went crabbing, these were the style traps we used. You would take them out. 15 foot is a good length. Now these buoys are older, and I don't think my neighbor just gave these to me, just gave them, and you didn't need your DRID number or anything going there at the time. Okay, so as you can see, the doors close up. You put your bait in here, so when you drop it down to the bottom, we drop it down, the doors will open up. Now, a lot of them have 4 sides that actually open up, but and what'll happen is that you leave them there, you drop all your 30, you drop all 30 of them, you let it sit for a little bit, and it'll go back around, and you just grab the buoy, you pull it up, and as you pull it up, the trap gets in here. But what you can see here, obviously, that the traps are very, they take a lot of room up, a lot of room. And so when I bought mine, I went to just a little different style. This one here, as you can see, the topless traps, they made these later. So you see how I can put 15 and 15 and how much less room. If you can imagine 30 of these traps on your boat, how much room it could take. Now, not that it's bad, but it takes up a lot of room, especially if you got a smaller boat. With this one here, you can put 30 traps. You got 2 stacks about this high, you know, and don't take up hardly any room. Now, it's the same, basically the same thing. Now, these will pretty much bait as we go. So we'll take the bait with us, and every time we get ready to go and drop one, we'll throw a bait in it and then drop it. And you'll do a straight line. Straight line. I'm a little tangled here. All right. So this is the same thing. And this one here drops down. These all 4 doors open up. You know, you leave it sit for a minute, you come back, you pick it up, and there you go. Here's another style bait thing here. You take the chicken neck. Here, show up right in here. See this little thing here? This is pulled in. So you'll take the chicken neck, you'll actually like run it down this point, and then you'll clip it in like that, and it lays down, and then they'll eat on it. Okay? This is a lot easier. Now, I'm going to put all the rules, all the regulations that you need to know to go crabbing in the description. Well, you're allowed 30 collapsible traps, and you can, if they're running, I can tell you this is a really good way to get them. I've caught a bushel of crabs with 20, I think we had like 20 traps. We had like 20 traps that day, and we caught, the crabs are really running. But let me tell you what, if you really want, if you know where the crabs are running and you've got access to a trout line, I could tell you that it would be much faster. I mean, you think about it, you got 30 baits on a trout line, you got over 200 baits on a trout line, and as you keep running it. So I guess my pick would be the trout line. It's a little bit more work before, a little bit more work afterwards, but these are more fun. These are a lot better with the kids because they get to grab the buoys and help you pull them up and stuff. This is really good. My grandson loves working with this. So I hope this helps you out. And in them rules, you'll see the rules that I put in. You can keep soft crabs, peelers and stuff like that. You can keep like 3 of this, 3 of that. They got to be certain sizes. Now, from April 1st to June 15th, right? I think it's June 15th. July 15th. All right, July 15th. The crabs are allowed to be 5 inches, okay, to keep them. When you get July 15th to December 15th, they got to be 5 1/4, right? 5 1/4. It's not 5 1/2, 5 1/4, and you can keep them. All right, so it switches. But we'll be out soon. Hopefully we'll get out, and hopefully everybody can get out. I hope everybody's being safe, and thanks for sticking around. All right, so we're going to talk about the trout line. You're allowed up to 1,200 foot of trout line. A lot of people will take that 1,200 foot and actually make 2 lines. So you can have 600 and 600. A lot of times, that's what's good about that is that you can go shallow with 600 and go a little deeper with the other 600. We pretty much just got ours at 1,200, and I believe it's 1,200 foot from buoy to buoy. All right, now I'm going to show you an easy way that if you want to go from a bank, go from a pier, it doesn't matter. You do not need a license to crab, all right? But no matter how you catch them, I think you're allowed up to 10 collapsible traps with no license, but you can only keep 2 dozen crabs. That's it. So you don't need a license. So if you want to go take the kids, the easiest way is to find a pier, find somewhere that you can get on a pier. I mean, this might not be the best example, but you just need a string. You need a string. Hold on one second. Don't follow me, my love. All right, so what you're going to need is some string. You can go to your local grocery store and get some chicken necks. Now, if you're going to use chicken necks, no matter where you use them, you don't want the skin on them. And don't have a chicken neck that's this long. There's no reason to have it. Usually we'll cut it in half, or we'll cut it in smaller pieces and use it. That some people use bull lips, and the best bait that I can tell you that they're hard to come by now because of 2 years ago, we had all that fresh water come up into the bay and killed a lot of razor clams. If I were to lay next to you with chicken necks, or if I was lay next to you with clams, razor clams, and you had chicken necks, I would beat you 3 to 1. It's 3, 4 to 1. And maybe you might not get any because I got clams. That's probably their favorite thing to eat. All right, so you tie this on. You tie a chicken neck on it, you throw it over, and you can put as many hand lines as you want, I believe. You can even go on a boat and anchor somewhere and actually just take hand lines. But without a license, you can only keep 2 dozens. It costs you $5 to get a crabbing license. If you have your Maryland fishing license, it's $2.50, okay? So this is the easiest way. Just make sure it's $2.50, right? Or $2. All right, it's $2, not $2.50, okay. But grab yourself a net. You'll need some string and some bait. Chicken necks are pretty much what everybody uses except for razor clams. There's all kind. Leave a comment underneath if you might use something different. I'm going to go over the trout line with you real quick, okay? On one end of the trout line, obviously we got to wait. And then you're going to have, I can't tell you exactly how much line it is, but you can get pretty deep with this. I mean, I've crabbed in 20-some foot of water with this. Okay, so, and you're going to come to your buoy. Now your buoy, you need your initials on it, and you need your DNR DN RID number that you get whenever you get your license. That's if you're going to go and you're going to catch more than 2 dozen. And then it comes to the line, and the line has a chain. Now what the chain does is that the chain, it keeps the line on the bottom, so it weighs it down. So now it keeps all the line on the bottom. So I got 1,200 foot of line, and then it'll come back up, and it's just the opposite way. I'll have a chain hooked to the other end and down to the buoy and drop it in. Sometimes this is the one that it's a little bit more work before and a little bit more work after, because you have to bait the line before you actually go. And that's really it. Now with a license, you're allowed 1 bushel of crabs, and that's this basket right here. 1 bushel of crabs you're allowed, okay? Now, if you're on a boat and you have 2 people with licenses, you can have 2 bushels of crabs, but that's it. You can have 4 people on your boat, 5 people on your boat, but it doesn't matter. Every boat, you're only allowed 2 bushel of crabs. That's it, no matter how many licenses you have, okay? That's pretty simple. Later in the year, we definitely will show you how we lay it out and how we crab, all right? The water, we're just waiting for the water temperature to rise a little bit. Captain Rachel next door, she just put her boat in the water 2 days ago, and she's not crabbing yet. She's waiting for the water temps to get up. They're catching them. They're not rolling yet. But when they do, we definitely will get out. We're going to bring the wife she's going to tad nuts. She wants some crabs. All right. So once this is hooked up, you're going to have a snood line. Okay. Your chicken neck clam. What we will have too, if you use razor clams. Oh, they're all at the bottom. So if you use razor clams, you'll take 3 or 4 razor clams, you'll stick it in here, you'll tie it up, and this will go on the end somewhere. This will go on the end. On the end, you got your bags, and then you just tighten it up. And you tighten it up, and there's your clam bags with razor clams. Or you take your chicken neck, you put it in there, you tighten it up. But always make sure this is to the end there, you know, and then you want to tighten it up. All right. Chicken necks in there every 6 foot. Every 6 foot, we got one. And the wife loves baiting the trout line. Probably takes her, what, about an hour? About an hour to do it. All right, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye. Now I'm sitting over there while my partner was telling you about the trout line. I'm over here going, you forgot this. So you're gonna need a dip net too with the trout line, because as you're running it over, when he finally goes out, he'll show you the hook up and set up, you know, when we bring the line up through. But right now, that's basically what you need, but you need one of these too. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate you helping out, man. It was really cool hanging out with you. Yeah, man, you too, man. We should do this again sometime. You know, you're really kind of a good-looking dude. You know that, right? I was going to say the same thing about you. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope this really helped you out. Well, we really appreciate you sticking around. Hey, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And leave a comment if you like. Hey, thanks for watching.